What's up YouTube, it is your boy DarriusOfficial and I am back with another YouTube video.
I feel like everyone needs an outlet to avoid depression. You guys are my outlet.
As you can see from the title below, this is My Summer with Noah, episode 16, season finale. So yeah, I know y'all probably like, what the fuck, I'm not ready for this. I'm low-key not either. I'm kind of filled with like a different amount of emotions right now, simply because yeah, I don't know, I guess I'm just feeling like how I felt when he had left. And not saying like, you know, like I keep on telling y'all that shit's in the past, but you know, like when just certain like emotions, or you remember, not the emotions didn't resurface, but more so like the feeling of those emotions, if that made sense, if you picking up what I'm putting down. But yeah, like I remember how I felt in that moment, and like the remembrance was kind of like, yeah. So anyway, yeah, let's get into the story. So the last part that we left off on was you know, we were at my house. We ended up leaving from down the street from my best friend's house because she had a little party or whatever. And Noah ended up going down to my house, and I ended up going down there shortly after him. And yeah, my mom told us to just cool out because we were like drunk and shit. And then me and Noah went in my room and we went to sleep. But we had sex and then we went to sleep. And then we woke up the next morning pretty early, which is kind of crazy, like super early. We woke up probably at like, it's probably like 10, honestly. We woke up at like 10 o'clock in the morning. I just remember waking up early, and then Noah ended up asking me if I was, well, he didn't really ask, like we had kind of agreed. So if you guys remember, so the day that we just woke up, so this day that I'm talking about, Noah leaves the day after this. So yeah, so it's like 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and we already had talked about, like, you know, us spending the last day up until he leaves with each other. So yeah, so anyway, I ended up packing my clothes because like he just needed to go home so he could just do miscellaneous things to prepare for the trip or whatever. That way we could still enjoy our whole day together. So I ended up packing just like a few clothes. I was just gonna shower at his house, so I packed some clothes or whatever. And then yeah, we ended up getting in his car, and then we were driving to his house. Got to his house, his mom was there, but she was in her room getting the rest of her little shit together or whatever. And yeah, me and Noah went upstairs to his room, and yeah, he was like, I was like, I'm about to get in the shower, and he was like, okay. So he just started like getting his shit together, like, you know, just, I don't know, y'all, just really getting shit together. Like he had his clothes folded on the bed, and I just remember looking at like his room and how different it looked because he was getting ready to leave, you know, like everything was like, it was like shit in the corner that he had just all organized as if it looked like he was moving but not really moving, like, you know what I'm saying, just like it was just crazy. And I'm like, yo, and that shit was really like hitting. Like I remember exactly how I felt that day. I was like, oh my god, it's like, this is fucking insane. Like this boy is really about to leave. And I ended up telling him like I'm about to get in the shower, whatever. He's like, okay. So we're in his room now, right? Of course. And I remember reaching down to grab my bag that I had packed my clothes into, and I just remember looking up and looking at him, and I was just like, wow, like I really like this boy, and he's about to leave. Hold on, let's take a little quick break to just put up a little picture of Noah, which is not actually Noah, but it's like somebody who looked just like this motherfucker. So just so that y'all get an idea of what he looked like. You know, I did this for like the first few videos, but I'm just gonna refresh y'all memory. So here's a picture of what Noah looks like. Get a load of this guy. I remember just looking up and looking at him. I'm just like, damn, like you really about to leave me, and I'm just really about to be here all by myself. Not like all by myself, but like I was always with Noah. So like you really about to leave, and it's fucking crazy. And I'm just supposed to fend for myself? Like what the fuck am I supposed to do about my bookie butt leaving me? Y'all, I was going, you know what? Don't fucking worry about it. Don't even fucking worry about it. So I end up going in the bathroom, getting in the shower, and I'm in there washing up or whatever. And one thing about it, still to this day, I take very long showers. Noah, around the time, even when I was younger, like I took long showers, but like I take long showers. Like ask anybody in my family, ask any of my friends, I take super long showers. Like I literally just like to be under the water, like to feel the heat on my body, to just feel clean. Like I just love a good shower. And I'm talking about not like no 30-minute long shower. I'm talking like I can be in there for like an hour plus, like dead ass, for real, like for real. Unless I got somewhere to go. But yes, I will literally sit like until I will get, the only time I will get out this, I have to look like a raisin, like for real. But okay, maybe an hour is crazy, but well, no, about an hour. About an hour. Maybe an hour plus is crazy, but about an hour for real. But anyway, so I was in there for maybe like 30 minutes, and Noah comes in, and I'm in the shower, so I hear the door open, and it's Noah, of course, because who else the fuck is gonna be? He comes in and he's like, can I join you? And I was like, sure, because you know he didn't shower either. I'm like, yeah, you can join me. He's like, okay. So he ends up you know, taking off his clothes that he had on from yesterday because he hadn't changed, and he literally just get right in the shower with me, and we're just kind of sitting there. Like, I remember he cut on Alexa, and yeah, he played like some music while we were in the shower, and we were just kind of sitting there. Well, we were like washing up or whatever, of course, but like it's just so dramatic, like stupid shit, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to get into the story. So yeah, I'm like, we just sitting there staring at each other, washing up, and it wasn't really much for me and him to say to each other in that specific moment, simply because we were feeling like a large amount of sort of sadness, if that makes sense. Like, because he know that he was about to leave, I know that he was about to leave, so we just kind of just sat there and we literally just were just in each other's space. Like, it wasn't nothing that we needed to say, because it was just like a damn type moment. Like, it was really literally like a damn type of moment. Like what the fuck? Like, damn. Like, for real, like, damn. So anyway, I end up giving him my rag, and I was like, you want to wash my back? And he's like, yeah. And I think y'all know what that led to. Don't really have to speak about it, but I'm gonna speak about it because I told you I'm gonna get into details with everything. So if you don't want to hear very explicit, vulgar language, skip this part. Anyway, so he started washing my back, and I don't know, like, maybe it was the steam in a bathroom or something, but things were getting intense. Things were getting hot. You know, he was washing my back, and then he slid down to my butt. And as he washing my butt, he like gets down on his knees, and he's like, only in America. And I'm like, so yeah, he started to eat the back. He ate me off the bone. And then he literally sat there and did that for like 10 minutes. I was like, whoa. And then he stood up and he turned me around and he grabbed my face and kissed me. And I grabbed his face and I kissed him, and we were in the shower kissing. And then, mind you, we in the shower still, like, water's running. Oh, brother, I'm embarrassed. Is this who? I'm embarrassed. Oh gosh, sorry. Fuck, I'm embarrassed. He picks me up, and you know, now we're kissing like that. I'm like this while he picks me up, you know. I'm like, and then he pushes me back to the wall as he's like holding my legs up, and I'm on the wall like this against the shower wall. And wow, that was come to think about it, that was such a nice wall. I'm embarrassed. Wow, I feel like such a whore. Yeah, then you know he slid his you know, his wee-wee. Yeah, it wasn't a wee-wee at the time because it was hard. So you know, wee-wee is only when it's on soft, but his wee-wee, he was like rubbing his wee-wee against my booty, and then he was like, ugh. And it ended up going in, and I'm gonna say what I said in the last video. We fucked like a dog. We were in that shower just going to town. Like, the way that man picked me up and handled me as another man, that's nothing but man's work. This is nothing but a man's work. Nothing but men's working together to help another masculine man overcome his restricted fluids inside of his body. His restriction is him letting his semen sit inside of him, and I help another man unleash his masculinity into me. You picking up what I'm putting down? Now somebody say, no, don't say that. I was gonna say amen. No, say amen to that. That is the devil's work. Lord Jesus, I'm sorry. Yeah, so yeah, that happened, and then y'all, we were literally hot as fuck in that shower, and I'm just like, so now we gotta wash up for real, because we didn't sweat it. We started sweating and shit. And then, you know, I got his I was babysitting his kids, so I had to handle that situation. And then we washed up for real, and then you know, we got out the shower, and yeah, and then you know, we dried off, we went in the room or whatever, and I just put on my clothes. I didn't know really what we had planned at the time, but maybe like 30 minutes after I ended up putting on my clothes, he was like, so, he was like, you want to go out to eat or what you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, buckaroo. What do you suggest? How about we go, let's run off together. Let's go to Paris. Let's leave your mom. Let's leave a day early. Let's find a very rich Caucasian man. Older Caucasian man. Did I mention rich Caucasian man? Have him fund our lives. Get him to get us an apartment in his name. Let's move in together. Let's have kids. Let's get a dog. Maybe start a YouTube channel. We're countries away, overseas. Bitch, I know we can make it. I'm here for it. I feel for it. I live for it. To Paris. I'm sorry. But, so, yeah, I'm gonna move right here a little bit. But, yeah, it was giving the garage. It was the giving the garage. He loved me. I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, back to the fucking story because I'm losing track. So yeah, so he's like, yeah, you want to go out to eat? And I'm like, sure. I mean, we can. Like, I brought clothes with me and stuff, so like we could do that. He's like, all right. He's like, well, let's go. And I was like, all right. We got in the car and we drove. It was probably like what? Maybe like it had to be like 12 p.m. by now. It was like noon. And we drove. We ended up going downtown. And we ended up going to this very nice spot. It wasn't nice, like it wasn't like upscale, like, oh yeah, you got a dress code nice, but it was like casual, good food nice, you know what I mean? They even had like the outside part that you could sit on, the little patio part, and that's when we ended up going. So we go there and then we order our food and we sitting there and we were just talking, just we were just sitting there, we were just talking. Y'all, I promise y'all I wasn't crying. I was dead ass just being funny. But no, like, y'all really damn near might cry when I tell y'all like how this shit played out for real. But yeah, we sat there, we ate, and then we went back to his house. And I really enjoyed my time with him, like when we went out to eat and everything. Cause it was really cool, it was really simple, really nice. You know, we ended up going back to his house and it got maybe like 1 o'clock. No, it ended up being like 2 o'clock by this time. Maybe a little later than that. It was like 2, 3-ish. We gonna say like 3 because we were sitting there for a little while, I remember. Anyway, so we got back to his house and his mom was gone again because she's a fucking whore. That bitch could, you know what, hold on. I actually got something to say. So look, I'm just playing when I be like, she a whore, like for real. And I only said that because I'm gonna spill the beans a little bit. Noah has been watching this series and he mentioned, he was like, yeah, you called my mom a whore in your previous videos. And I was like, well, no, you know how I be. He's like, yeah, I know. He was like, but they really gonna think my mom a whore. And I'm like, no, like, no, they not gonna think she a whore. Like, I mean, she not no whore, she a hoe. No, I'm just playing for real. Okay, let me stop. But yeah, I was gonna save that information to the end of the video because I know y'all been asking have I been in touch with him, and we spoke. But yeah, so, but anyway, that's not the point. So look, so we get back to his house and it's like 3-ish, and we literally were just chilling with each other. Like, we literally laid down and then we had watched some YouTube couple from like a while ago. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. We ended up laying down and then we took a nap. I was kind of mad that we ended up taking a nap because I'm like, this is my time that I need to be enjoying with you, but like, our ass then went to sleep. We literally took a nap, went to sleep, and woke up at like 6. We were asleep for about like a good 3 hours. His mom was still gone, always. When we woke up, both of us were hungry and we like, what is it giving, you know? And I was like, well, I could order pizza. And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna order some snacks. You know, I'm gonna order some snacks. He like, okay, bet. So he ordered pizza and I was like, I got it. I know what we could do. He's like, what? I'm like, let's have a movie night. And he's like, for real? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. He's like, okay. So I'm like, all right. And he's like, hold on, I got an idea. I'm like, what's up? He's like, we could actually just have the movie night downstairs in the living room. This living room was so nice, like very nice. I'm like, okay, let's do it. I'm like, but what if your mom walk in? Cause like, I'm gonna want to cuddle. He's like, she's not coming back no time soon. I'm not gonna tell her business. Okay, I'm gonna tell her business. She was with a man. Noah, I'm so sorry. Don't nobody even know who you are, so it's okay. But yeah, she was with a man. That lady wasn't coming back that night. Her flight is the next day. You think she worried about coming home? No. You know what she planned on doing? She trying to have fun. So, anyway, like I said, it's like 6. And then so me and Noah end up going downstairs in the living room. Like we literally set everything up. The pizza ended up getting delivered. The snacks ended up getting delivered. We had like a whole bunch of snacks, whole bunch of juice. We had pepperoni pizza, and then we also had Supreme because my Buki loves Supreme pizza. He really didn't just fuck with regular plain pepperoni. He loved a good Supreme pizza with the sausage, the bell peppers, the onions. And he used to add jalapenos. And that's why to this day I add jalapenos on my pepperoni pizza. What you doing? 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 Okay. Let me stop playing before I make myself cry for real. But anyway, so when the Pizza Hut stuff came, we had like blankets on the couch. Oh, it was so cute. Like literally it was like, and it wasn't even like just cute, like we really tried to set it up cute, but it was more so cute like, ooh, hold on. Okay. But it was more so cute like the vibe, like we just like how we just did it, you know what I mean? So yeah, so we on the couch, we had ate our pizza or whatever. Noah's like on the left end of the couch and I'm sitting next to him, but he's closest to the like the armrest. Oh, we was kind of cute. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. This is, I don't know, like I might cry for real, cause like that's some crazy shit. Like, yo, like what the fuck? Like, oh man, what the fuck? Like, damn, crazy. Anyway, so yeah, the movie that was playing was White Chicks, and like I said, we had ate our pizza. We just kind of eating snacks. He on this end. I got my leg like put over on his leg, and you know, we just kind of sitting there underneath the cover, just you know, just doing us, and it was just such a vibe. And like, it was really just a good ass bonding moment for us. Like we just always just had fun. And like I just remember like thinking like how therapeutic it was for me for us to just be laughing together watching this movie. Like we was literally watching White Chicks, and if y'all know White Chicks, that shit is so funny. Like. And Noah used to always laugh at the part where she's like, when she's out to eat, and then the big guy, he's like, you know, Terry, and the big guy, he's like, damn little lady, show can put it away, and she's like, ha ha ha, you're so funny. And like he used to always die laughing at that part because he was like, why is the food coming out of her mouth? But yeah, and I just remember thinking like looking at him like just really laughing hard as fuck to this movie. And like me too, I was like, it was funny to me, but I was like, oh my god, like we are us, and we might not be perfect, we might not even be out the closet at the time, but I mean shit, this is perfect enough for me. I feel like we, you know, we fit for each other. It was just so crazy. And then yeah, and I kind of killed the mood because we end up like laying down on the couch. So like he has his back pressed against the couch as he's laying on the side, and I'm laying in front of him, and I'm like kind of in his arms type thing, so he has like his arm wrapped around me. And like we watching White Chicks and stuff, of course, and so it was getting kind of sort of close to the end of the movie by this point. And I don't know, I just remember my mind started like going somewhere else. I couldn't really focus on the movie anymore, and I was just thinking about like, damn, not even 24 hours from this exact moment, I will not be seeing this boy for a while. And it was like really fucking with me. And I remember just laying there, and I started crying, but he didn't know immediately because I wasn't doing like a jump crying, but like the tears were like rolling down my face and onto his arm, because like the way I was laying on him, like it was like rolling onto his arm. And I remember he just kind of like leaned over, he looked, and he's like, are you crying? I was like, no. I wiped my face, and he's like, what's wrong? And I told him, I'm like, like this isn't gonna last, like literally. Y'all, I'm sorry, this is so cringy, but to hell with it, we're already in. So yeah, still like my back is still pressed against his chest as we laying there, and he's like kind of like looking over me though, like sort of like, you know, kind of got his head turned. Then he like wipes the tears off my face and stuff, and he's like he was like, hey, come here. And then he turns me to him, so now we face to face. And then I just remember he grabbed my face like this, like, you know, like this type thing. Oh, that looks slow, but like, you know what I'm saying? I can't, oh, okay, like this how he grabbed my face. Why didn't I just do that? He grabbed my face like this, and he was like rubbing and stuff, and he was like, gonna be okay, we're gonna be all right. And I was like, how do you know we're gonna be all right? Because you're leaving, you saying the minimum that you're gonna be gone is 2 months, which is already long as shit. And that's just not even mentioning if she really gets this fucking job, and then she decides to move there for however long, and I won't see you. And as I'm talking to him, I started crying again, and then I noticed that he started to cry. Like The tears was coming down his face, and it was really rarely ever that I saw this boy cry, like ever, unless something was really fucking with this boy. So for both of us to be sitting there crying, it's like, damn. And one thing about me, like, I'm pussy as fuck when it comes to the tears, boy. I'm not gonna lie, like, that shit is so contagious. I can't be around somebody that I really like or love and see them cry, because then it's just gonna make me cry even more. So me crying, he started crying, then I'm seeing him cry. Now I'm really starting to cry, like, just like nose getting kind of, you know, mucusy, like just like that type thing. I just remember I was like, we were crying. You know, we face to face now, so his back is still pressed against the couch, but now like we're like face to face. And I just remember like wrapping my arms around his neck, and then he like wrapped his arms around my waist, like just pulled me really close to him, and we were literally just laying there holding each other as tears just falling down our face. Like, it was kind of crazy. And yeah, we sat there for like a little minute, and then we stopped crying, and then we laid down. I mean, like, we were still holding each other like that, but we just stopped crying at this point. And I pulled back from him, I gave him a kiss, and I told him, I was like, I don't want you to leave. And he's like, I know. He was like, but guess what? And I'm like, what? And he's like, I love you. And I was like, I love you too. The sucky part about all of this is their flight was in the afternoon, so they were leaving pretty early, and it's probably about already like 9 p.m. at this time. So we're still just laying there. We end up cutting on like another movie, and we end up sitting back up on the couch. Well, I was sitting up at this point on the couch, and like I'm sitting up like this, and I kind of got my feet kicked up like on a recliner thing. So now I'm on the other end of the couch, and Noah's okay, so I'm sitting on the couch like this, and my feet are lifted up on the recliner end, but Noah's body is laid across the couch this way, so he has his head sitting in my lap. And yeah, like I just remember like the whole visual, like I just remember everything about this fucking boy, and it's irritating. Like, what the fuck? Like the way he was laying there, like he was laid on his back with his head turned to the TV, but his head's in my lap. And I remember he had his left leg up like this, and the right leg like stretched out. And yeah, I'm just like, this boy is so handsome. Like, he's just he's just perfect. Like, he's just like, he's it. Like, he's literally it. And if he's it, then I'm the clown. Like, you know. But at this point we were watching The Incredibles, I think. So it was it was The Incredibles, but I can't remember if it was the new Incredibles or the old Incredibles. I think it was the old Incredibles, because I don't think the second Incredibles came out at that time. I could be mistaken, but I just remember it was The Incredibles. And yeah, I wasn't even paying no fucking attention to that movie. I was worried about that nice piece of man laying on me. Like, so as we sitting there watching the movie, Noah's phone ended up ringing. It's his mom. He answers it, and I guess she ended up telling him on the phone like she's gonna be back like super early in the morning, but she has errands to run as soon as she get back. So she ended up telling Noah, would he be able to Uber to the airport? He's like, yeah, or I could just have Darrius drive my car and drop me off there, so I could just meet you, so because I know you got errands to run. She was like, okay, that's fine, just make sure that you be there on time. She was like, you need to be there at least 2 hours early. So he's like, okay. So yeah, I'm just thinking in my head like, fuck, this is so serious. Like, this is for real. Like, you about to fucking leave. Ugh, and I'm about to cry again, because why you want to keep on leaving me? So basically the game plan was his mom was gonna get to the house early in the morning. She was gonna get her shit, put it in her car, and run whatever errand she needs to run, and then she's going to go straight to the airport from there. So basically this was the game plan. She was going to get there early in the morning, get all of her bags, put it in the car with the guy that she was that night, and run all her errands that she needed to do, and then he was going to drop her off at the airport. So her and Nora were going to be there at the same time. They just weren't riding together because she had a whole bunch of errands to run in the morning, which kind of worked out in a way because they both had a lot of shit that just wasn't gonna fit in one car for real, unless they would have took his mom's. But that was just a lot because she was getting it shipped to Paris anyway, and she had to leave it at the house. So anyway, so me and Noah are still laying there on the couch, like his head's still in my lap, and I just remember like laying in his hair, rubbing his face, doing all that little cute googly shit. I leaned down to kiss him, and by this time like the movie was over, and he was like, you ready to call it a night? And I'm like, no, I'm not really. He's like, well, come on. I'm like, okay. And yeah, we end up putting all the pieces up and shit in the kitchen and all the snacks up in the kitchen. And as we're in the kitchen cleaning up or putting the stuff up, when we got done, Noah ended up walking up to me, and I was like leaning against the island at this point. I was leaning against the island, and he ended up like grabbing me by my waist and like picking me up and sitting me on the counter. Y'all, this was some movie shit. I ain't never experienced nobody like how I experienced Noah. Like he was lit. I can't even lie to y'all. Like he just had my whole little situation going. Like I'm just like, oh God, like this is it. Like I'm fucking with it. I'm living for it. You living for me. I'm living for you. Like you doing all of this cute shit. This I'm talking about the shit you see in movies. Like I'm like, fuck, like I really experienced my knight in shining armor, my Prince Charming. Just for you to fucking leave. Oh, bruh, over. So yeah, he sits me on the counter. And then he like comes in between my legs or whatever. He's like looking at me. And I just remember like when he had sat me on the counter, the first thing I was thinking about is like, even though I'm sitting on the counter, this nigga is still way taller than me. Like, how are you so fucking tall? I'm so glad he wasn't crazy, because that man would have beat the shit out of me. For real. That's how tall he was. For real. I'm talking about one hit to the jaw, I'm out. Literally. His hands were huge. Any fucking way. Yeah, he ended up like, now he's in between my legs, and like he's looking at me, and I'm just like, what? Like, what are you staring at? He's like, I mean it when I say I love you. And I'm like, I know, I love you too. He's like, no, like seriously. I was like, okay, I love you too, Noah. And he's like, we're gonna try to make this work. And I'm like, yeah, like if you want to, we gonna try to make it work. I don't know how, but like we gonna fucking make it work. Like, like yeah, okay, I tried to talk to somebody long distance before, but like I never saw them at all. Nigga, I'm experiencing you and you're leaving, so we gonna try to make this shit work. Like, what the fuck? He's like, you promise? I'm like, yeah, I promise. He's like, okay. And then he turns around and like kind of like not leans back into me, but walks back into me, and he's like, come on. So he wanted me to get on his back. I'm getting on his back, and then he carried me upstairs. Like, and but it was like a goofy type of, you know, he running up the stairs, we laughing, that type of shit, stupidity shit. And then we get into his bedroom, and we get on the damn bed. But at this point, like, we done changed into, you know, our night clothes and everything from when we was first watching the movie. So we just hopped right in the bed, and yeah, like we just laid straight down. Like he laid on his back and I laid on his chest, and it was just so different. Like his TV wasn't even on the stand anymore. Like I just remember like, damn, I had no choice but to go to sleep, which I really didn't want to, because like I felt like if I went to sleep, then I was just gonna wake right up and it was gonna be time for him to leave, which is reality. Like I would rather stay up and just feel the density of the hours throughout the night, so that way it doesn't feel rushed versus just going straight to sleep and waking up and it's time. Anyway, yeah, I laid on his chest, and he was just like rubbing my back until I fell asleep, and I was just kind of like playing in his hair until he fell asleep, until I fell asleep. And we both end up eventually falling asleep, and we woke up early as fuck because his mom knocked on the door, and she was just like, Noah, you need to be getting ready. And he's like, okay. It had to be like, I think like 7. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning. But when she knocked on the door, she was already like getting ready to walk out the door, because you know she had came early as fuck to grab her shit and she was leaving out. And yeah, we're laying there 7 o'clock in the fucking morning and dog shit tired. Not really dog shit, because like we got some full night's rest, like for real, definitely over 8 hours, but we was just like tired because it was like early as fuck. So yeah, so as we laying there, Noah's just kind of like this, and I'm just kind of like this looking at him on the side. I'm like, big day. He's like, yeah. It's like, you ready? He's like, no. Like, me either. So so we end up getting up out the bed, and he's like packing all of his stuff, or like not packing it, but just bringing it down to the front door because it's already like packed or whatever. And like everything that he was taking, I remember he had 2 suitcases, he had a book bag on, and what else did he have? Like his phone and shit. Like 2 big dumbass suitcases, like, yeah. And then just like, you know, the little other shit. Like, I guess they were getting like a lot of shit shipped there that they needed to. I think that they were staying in a whatever the job she had, they offered them a like a suite hotel, I believe, for 2 months. Or no, I take that back. It was like they end up offering them a suite hotel for like the first 2 weeks, and then they end up offering them like a temporary home to stay in, if that makes sense, while they were down there. But yeah, so yeah, he just bringing all this stuff downstairs, and I'm just kind of just like, so he comes back upstairs, and then he's like, let's jump in the shower and then we can leave. I'm like, okay. So we hop in the shower, we shower, whatever, and then this is literally our last shower together, which is crazy, the day that he was leaving. And yeah, we end up getting out the shower, and yeah, that's crazy. I end up throwing on my clothes, and we were getting ready to leave out. And we got in his car, we put all this stuff up in his car. He locked his house up and everything. And we put everything in his car, and he gets in the driver's seat, I get in the passenger seat. And sorry, I'm just thinking about, like, this shit was crazy. Like, these fucking emotions I was really feeling, like, damn. We get in the car, he ended up pulling out of his driveway, and we're on our way to the airport. Now, we were driving to O'Hare Airport. You know what O'Hare Airport is? It's Chicago's main airport. And like, that shit is far as fuck. We had like an hour drive, and I think it was maybe like, I don't know, maybe like, it was like 9 o'clock at this time or something like that. We woke up at 7, but we didn't get out the bed till maybe like 30 minutes after that. And then like him cleaning up his room and everything, like straightening up from when he leave. And then we had showered. So yeah, it was probably like 9 o'clock at this time. And I just remember being in the car, and I did not want to look at him. Like, I know y'all probably like, you just being so dramatic, but it was the truth, like, dead ass. Like, I did not want to look at him. I just was like looking out the window, because I was like, if I look at this boy, I'm gonna cry again, and I just don't want to cry right now. I'm just looking out the window, and yeah, it was music playing, and it was a lot of traffic, like stop and go traffic and shit. But I was fine with it, because I was like, I'm getting to be able to experience more time with him. He ended up reaching over to like grab my hand, and he ended up asking me, was I okay? And I was like, yeah. Like, look at me. And I was like, I don't want to. And he's like, why? I'm like, cause I'm gonna cry. And he's like, just look at me. And I was like, Noah. He's like, it's okay if you cry. And I was like, but at this point, my eyes was already watery. Like, I'm looking out the fucking window, damn near crying already. So I look back, and my fucking eyes are like red and watery and shit. And he's like, you're already crying. And I'm like, yeah, I am, because I'm sad. And he was like, it's gonna be okay. And I'm like, yeah, you keep saying that, I know. And we just continue driving to the airport. We get to the airport, and and he kind of like parks further up away from the door, but not too far, just like further up away from the door, just so that they don't have to tell us to like keep going, because you know they don't allow you to park in front. Like O'Hare Airport, they get on my fucking nerves, because we get it. Okay, just let us get out the car. You don't have to, you can't stay here, go. Like, girl, shut the fuck up. Okay, like, damn, we get it. You love your job, love that for you, Mookie, but chill. So anyway, you end up pulling like further up past the door, and I just remember everything at that point forward just felt like it was just like in slow motion, sort of. Like, it just felt very unreal. Like, I remember looking down, and he put the car in park, and I remember seeing the light go from D to P, from drive to park, and I was just like, fuck. Like, and then I just looked at him, I was like, so this is it. Then he didn't say anything, he just grabbed my face and he kissed me. And we sat there kissing for like 5 long minutes, and then he was like, get out the car and give me a hug. And I was like, get out the car. Like, I don't care about nobody seeing me. I was like, all right. So we get out the car, we're like in front of the car, and it's just cars riding past and shit, like literally, like, cause you know they dropping people off, they're just riding past, and we get out the car door, and like we're in front of the car, and I just remember looking at him like, I'm looking at him like, I'm sad, you know, like, and he has his arms out like this, and he's like, come here. And I was like, and as soon as he did that, like, I just started bawling my eyes out, bro. Like, for real, y'all. I just started crying, like, bawling my fucking eyes out. Like, couldn't hold it in no more. So, as soon as he went like this, I just started crying, and I walked up towards him, and he, like, pulled me in close to him, and I got my arms wrapped around his neck, and I was just crying into, like, his chest and shit. And, yeah, like, it's crazy, like, it's crazy. And he kind of started crying, but you could tell, like, he was trying not to cry, because he didn't want me to cry anymore. And wow, like, it was crazy. Yeah, we sitting there, and then I just remember like grabbing his shirt like this, like as I'm hugging him, I'm like, I grabbed his shirt like really tight, because I'm just like, I don't know, it was a lot. Like, it was a lot. Like, I was really bawling my eyes out. I haven't cried like that in a while until I cried like that, and I was like, Damn. Yeah, and then that lasted for a little minute, and he pulled away from me and he like grabbed me like this, and he was looking at me and he's like, I love you. I was like, I love you too. And he was like, I have to go in now. And I'm like, I know. He was like, gonna be fine. We're still gonna talk every day. We're still gonna text. We're still gonna call each other. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So he gave me one last really tight hug. And like at this point, I was kind of over the crying. Like my face was already just red as fuck. My eyes were red. I was just over it. And yeah, and then he grabbed his suitcase, sis, out of the car, and he just started walking off towards the door. And like he got like maybe halfway from the car to the door, to like the airport door. He stopped and he looked back at me because I was still outside of the car just watching. And I remember he literally just left his suitcases there and he walked back towards me. And as he was walking back towards me, like he had his head held down, but then he ended up looking up right before he got to me, and like he was like crying like really hard. And he was like, and I'm like, oh my God. And then it just made me cry again. And like he hugged me again really tight, and I was hugging him and I was like, it's okay. And he was like, I know. And then yeah, I looked at him, I wiped his tears off his face, and I was like, you need to go so that you could check in and everything. And he's like, okay. We did our last kiss and he walked off. And yeah, when he grabbed his suitcase and walked to the door, he looked back and he mouthed the words, I love you. So he was like, and I was like, and yeah, he walked in the airport, and I had drove his car back to his house. But that drive was so long going back home, so long. Not even just like the traffic, it just felt just like a long drive. Like I was just like, cause I was dreading getting back home. Like, so when I pulled up back to his house, I parked his car and I sat his key in the mailbox because that's what he told me to do. And I just remember looking at his house and I was just like, damn, like this boy is really gone. Like that's crazy, like this boy is really fucking gone. And I don't know when I'm gonna see him again. And then my Uber was already on the way because he had called me an Uber by like, I think maybe like 10 minutes before I actually pulled up to his house, so they was like close. And yeah, I just walked off from his porch because, you know, he had the little porch that like curved into, he had a walkway from his door all the way into like the driveway. And yeah, I got in the Uber, my book bag, my clothes in it, and yeah, I'm just like, I'm going home. Y'all ever saw that clip where the girl was in the taxi cab and the taxi man was like, the taxi man was like, where are you going? Where am I taking you, miss? And she was like, home, home. And he was like, bitch, I don't know where the fuck you live. Or whatever he said. But I literally felt like that because like when I got in the damn car, I just was feeling so like, so many emotions. I felt like really like theatrical. And the Uber driver was like, cause I said all to say because when I had got in there, you know, the Uber are usually like Darrius, or they say your name just to confirm who you are. But I got in there, I just sat down and he was talking to me. He was like, and I was like in my head, and he was like, Darrius, and I was like, huh? He's like, are you Darrius? And I was like, yes, I'm Darrius. Take me home, fuck. So yeah, I ended up going home. I ended up getting home, and I went inside my house. So I ended up getting home, and I didn't even go in my house. I just walked down to my best friend's house and I knocked on the door. She opened up the door. And as soon as I saw her, I literally just grabbed her, hugged her, and I started crying again. And she was like, it's okay. She was like, he's gone. I was like, yeah. And then, yeah, I just spent the rest of that day literally just sad as fuck, like, so sad. I really felt like I was really sad, y'all. Like, for real, that's crazy. Like, for like the past, like, I don't think I really got over it or it really hit me until like 2 full weeks, dead at, in 2 full weeks. Y'all ever watch Twilight when Edward had left Bella for a while? It was a new moon and he had left her for a while, and she was just like so like upset and just feeling like she was losing her mind. I ain't gonna say I was losing my mind, but I was just like really upset because I'm like, I keep expecting to see this man and I know I can't because he's all the way in Paris. But yeah, from that point on, like we talked every day. Like we FaceTimed every day, but it was like really hard to kind of keep up because the time zones were different. He was like, I think he's like 5 hours, or he was like 5 hours behind or something like that, or ahead, however it goes. But like, let's say if it's, okay, so it's 10 right now, that means it would be, is it 5 hours? I think it's 5, wait. Because if it's 10 right now, then that means it would be like 3 a.m. where he's at, or however, let me see. Okay, I'll take that back. it's not 5 hours, it's, what is that, 7 hours? 11, 12, yeah, 7 hours. So then it would be 5 there. It would be 5 in Paris right now. But yeah, basically the times were just off, so we were trying to like make it work and shit. But then, like, you know, the 2 months end up getting up, and she ended up getting a job, and they stayed there for like a few years, and I haven't saw Noah until he ended up coming back to the States. And when we had finally saw each other again, it was just like different, like not different in a bad way or a good way. It was just like you could just kind of tell like we're just different, like we weren't them teenagers that we were. I don't know. But yeah, y'all, that's it for my summer with Noah as a whole. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this series, and I just want to say, like, I love you guys so much for being able to allow me to express and share my certain situations that I experienced with a person that was very impactful in my life. So I just want to say I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for listening, always being there for me, always just being an ear, even when like most people think I'm just talking to a camera, but I'm not. I'm actually connecting with you all just to see y'all comments and stuff. And I just want to let y'all know as well, like, it's gonna sound like I'm rambling, but just, I don't care. I know that y'all might feel like I don't always like a certain comment, or I might not respond to your comment or whatever, but I promise you I see you. I promise you I literally see you. I see you. I promise you I do. So please don't think that I'm just not. I acknowledge you. Like, I literally see you, and I'm gonna do my best to try to acknowledge all of you from this point forward. But yes, I literally see y'all comments. I see it all, I promise you. So yeah, but like I said, thank y'all for being able, or thank y'all for tuning in to this series. I don't know, hopefully in the future I'm able to like get this put into like a show on Netflix or something, because I want you guys to actually experience it so that you can feel the emotions that I felt, because I had some good times, I had some bad times, I had happy, sad times, and yeah. So yeah, with that being said, if y'all want me to give y'all a video on an update of where me and Noah are right now, I could do that. So let me know if y'all want that. Also too, I had read a comment earlier. Someone said you should call Noah and see if he's able to talk to you on the phone while you make a video. And I was thinking about, like, you know, I probably could, just to maybe he could like tell y'all how he felt like throughout our journey. You know, not like detail to detail, but just like overall how he felt. In that way, nobody will really know who he is, because it's just his voice. But yeah, so y'all let me know if y'all interested in that. But anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, click that bell on the side so that you can be notified. Make sure that you tell a friend or two, because it is good for you. I love you guys so much, and I will see y'all in my next YouTube video. Bye.